The main thing that brings emotion into your playing is dynamics, whether you're playing loud or soft. So this is what I'm playing up here. I'm moving down, and then I'm jumping to the bottom. I'm playing 2 notes here. So I'm moving in a direction that feels familiar, that feels simple and easy, just moving down the scale, starting from a particular spot. And then I'm thinking, okay, how can I make that a bit more interesting? Jumping down to the bottom of the scale to give it a bit of dynamic in terms of a range of melody. Messing around with the rhythm a little bit, just to bring a bit more intrigue. So we've got this. To bring emotion into that, I can just play it quietly. So I've introduced a little bit of something, but actually to make that a bit more exciting and interesting and broad and dynamic, I can not just play it quietly, but play around with how quiet or loud I'm playing, right? A little bit louder, I'm also filling in the space a bit more. So not only can I play with dynamics, how loud or quiet I'm playing, but I can also play around with how I'm filling in that space. I'm keeping the melody exactly the same. I'm just every now and then adding some slightly quieter notes within that same melody, on the same notes, just playing the note twice instead of once, to fill out the space a bit more. Playing it a bit more. Ooh, I've added a little extra bit here, or whatever it was, to again fill in that space, to add to the the progression of the melody, add a little bit of not tension but excitement and drama and dynamic to that. Another thing you'll see me do a lot is flams. So a flam in drum speak is when you bring one hand down slightly before the other, right? It's not 2 separate notes, it's not gum gum, it's brum, brum, right? So one hand comes down right before the other hand, and I like to do that between notes, right? So what I'll do is I'll play one quiet note and then one loud note, which is the kind of main tone that we're heading into, and I like to do it with a ding as well. So my left hand is coming down onto the ding just before the main focus, which is louder as well than this ding's drag. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Hear that flam? Between 2 notes as well. There's one. Right, so we're still hearing this note here, but it's acting as a support, it's acting as a stepping stone towards this note. So it gives this note a bit of context, a bit of emotional context. So I like to use flams a lot to add emotion to my playing. I also like to play around with like stretching time a little bit. So instead of playing everything on the beat, bam, bam, bum, 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 bum. It's already syncopated a little bit, this rhythm, because not every melody note is landing on the downbeat, right? Ba, 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 bum, bum, bum. Right, the first note, da, is landing on the beat, da, da, but the second one is landing off the beat when my hands are open. Da, 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 da. So are the third and the fourth. Da, 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 da. And then at the end, I'm landing on the beat. So this variety between having your melody on that downbeat, everything feels like this, it's all a bit robotic, and also placing things on the upbeats to add a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of funk maybe, that adds emotion to the playing. But I can stretch that around even more. I can do more with that. I can explore triplets, fitting 3 notes into the space where usually only the space would only be divided into 2, and so on and so forth. I can really start to play with that in-between space and stretch that out to play around with the emotion that way. So that might look something like this. Here's the original. There I'm stretching, right? I stretch there, more stretch. Right, I'm kind of getting out of the beat a little bit, getting uncomfortable a little bit to allow room, allow breath for that emotion. Instead of playing the note where you expect it, I leave a longer gap, and then it arrives. So I'm staying within the notes of this melody. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes, none of the others. But when I start to expand and explore with those, I'm still keeping within the same notes. I'm just playing and stretching them and bringing them down, bringing them up, filling in the space, you know, kind of staying within that framework, but exploring all of the ways that I can breathe with that and breathe emotion into that.